You see, before I even started to apply to universities when I was in school back then in SHS, I had done a lot of research as to the schools that I want to go in. I actually wanted to study in the US previously, right? But then I had a change of mind and I decided to come to study here in Germany. But before that, I had gone through all the necessary research I need to do. I had gone through all the, you name them, the YouTube videos that people make and all that. But they told me that studying in Germany is easy. Studying in Germany is, a dream come true. Studying in Germany is something that any international student will wish to have, right? But it turns out to be a lie. And here's why. See, when I arrived here, that was when reality hits hard. Hello everyone, I am Michael and this is my channel World of Mike. If you have not subscribed, please make sure to click down on the subscribe button, notification icon, and also don't forget to share and like this YouTube video as well. In this video, I'm actually going to tell you the lies, or let me say not 100% a lie, but the lies that you've been told about studying in Germany that, gets a lot of people or a lot of international students excited when they are about to start the application to come to Germany. But when they get here and reality starts hitting them, that's when they start saying, oh, nobody told us this is how hard it's gonna be. They told us studying here is actually free and all that. Calm down, get some popcorn, get some cup of coffee or anything that you want to take, and let's go. Now you see, Germany is a land of opportunities. Good roads, system are working, everything is in place, right? But this is the thing that most people here don't tell you as an international student who is about to move to Germany, right? And I would like to chance on the first or the common lie that people tell you is that German is not really needed. See, your program might be in English, right? But your life in Germany revolves around German. Whether you are going to sign your contract for apartment, whether you are booking for an appointment at the authorities office, anything you are doing here revolves around the language. So don't be too excited that you hear people telling you, of course you can study in Germany without really needing the German language. So you don't even put any effort into learning the language. And after you finish school, that's when life hits you hard and you realize that what you had previously isn't how it is when you came here. See, you can literally survive in Germany even without German when you are in school, right? But the thing is, after your school, after your education here as an international student, whether you have planned to study here completely in English or you plan to study here completely in German, at the end of the day, you are going to work in a German community or you are going to work in a German society. So I would advise any international student that's planning to study in Germany that they should get it out of their mind that you can actually survive here in Germany completely without knowing anything in German, not even one word. Now, another lie that you hear most people telling you is that Germany is cheap for international students, right? And this is the thing they always tell you when you go outside, you don't really need to pay any tuition fee in Germany. You only have to pay a semester fee. But this is the reality. When you come here, some semester fee ranges from 100 euros to about 500 euros, right? And it depends on the city that you find yourself in. So most of the international programs that international students are really interested in or they are really interested in to study in English are mostly in the bigger cities, right? And when you find yourself in a bigger city or when you find yourself into this setting, you end up paying more expenses than living in a smaller city which has less international programs for international students that are in English, right? So in any cases, whether you are paying less or more tuition fee, you are still going to take off living expenses like your radio tax, your rent, your health insurance, and all other stuffs that are really included. So in real sense, living here is actually depending on the city you are in. So it's actually not cheap as they say outside there. So note that as well. Now, the next myth or the next slide I would like to talk about is about accommodation, right? What you hear outside of them telling you that finding accommodation here in Germany is actually easy for international students, right? Here's the reality. You see, most of the students' dorms has a lot of waiting lists. In fact, they can have waiting lists for students that could be waiting for even 2-3 semesters and they have not yet found an apartment. So finding an apartment here in Germany requires a lot of it requires a lot of energy and a lot of effort to be put in, right? You have to present your chauffeur, your income proof. You have to present that you are really eligible to pay for your rent and all that. And most of the international students that come here find it really difficult to provide all these informations that is being requested by the landlords or anybody who's renting out the apartment, and they end up sleeping at their friend's place or being with their friends for some time before they finally find an apartment. Even that, the apartment contract only lasts for about just 1 year of their study here in Germany, and after that you have been thrown out. I mean, not literally thrown out, but you have to go so that the next batch that are coming in will overtake the dorms. And if you are lucky like me, I have my apartment contract lasting till I complete my school. So in some dormitories it's actually really easy for finding apartments, but in some cases it's really difficult to find apartments, as people say it's outside. Now let's talk about student jobs here in Germany. You see, before you come or before you start your application and you watch these YouTube videos online, what you hear most people telling you that it's actually easy for you to find student job or part-time jobs whilst you are studying here in Germany, right? Yeah, it's actually true though, but here's the thing. The reality is it is sometimes really difficult for students to find a part-time job, looking at the fact that they don't really speak German or they have less experience whilst they are coming from their home country, right? In most cases, these jobs are really competitive, and some students mostly don't really find it comfortable to balance their work and their studies at the same time, which becomes a challenge for them. So the reality is, if you find yourself here in Germany as an international student, first immerse yourself in a language, right? That will increase your chances of getting jobs that are in your field of study. Otherwise, you have to end up working at a warehouse or any normal jobs that you have to do, which is also respected here in Germany. But if you are someone who would like to work in your field of study, immerse yourself in German and also build up your skills personally as well, which is also going to help you. And also you have to know that you are definitely going to balance your school and your work life at the same time. So be aware of that. Now, do you have an idea of how the German university system works here in Germany? Let me tell you. Another lie that people don't tell you is that studying here in Germany can sometimes be really stressful, right? What you hear outside, they'll tell you public universities are actually relaxed to study, right? Of course it is. But here's the thing. German universities require self-discipline. Okay, there's no spoon feeding over here, right? And even one exam can determine your whole grade at the end of a semester. So you can come to class or you cannot come to class, and at the end of the day, it's either you pass or you fail your exam. That is going to determine your grade for that particular course, right? In most cases, you find yourself in groups or having group work with people that are coming from different backgrounds and all that, and most international students aren't able to adapt to this kind of society or this kind of environment, which kind of becomes a challenge for them. So if you are coming here, just know that you are going to face all of these, and so prepare yourself really well before you come. Now let's talk about how easy it is to find friends in Germany, right? Now when you go outside or before you come, you hear people telling you that integration is natural. No, it isn't. So the reality is that it really takes time, effort, and patience for you to actually know the kind of circle you really want to be around with, because you don't want to see anybody as your friend, right? Anybody that you are in class with as your friend. You have to choose your circle, right? And it's actually one of the things that most international students find it really difficult, and they end up being lonely in their homes, in their houses, depression and all that, especially during winter in these cases. So this is something that you have to tune your mind to, that there's going to be a time that you are really going to be lonely when you come here as an international student. Accept it. It's time, patience. One thing that Germany taught me as an international student coming here is that Germany has taught me how to be patient. Patience is really the key here in Germany. I'm telling you, as an international student that have experienced some things like that here. With all these things that I've said, right, I would like to say that Germany isn't actually a lie. But the thing is, the picture that has been projected out there isn't really complete. So if you are coming here, make sure you prepare yourself really well, learn German, know the system, know how the German educational system is by talking to people who are already here and their experience, so that you don't make the wrong decision for your mental health, because you might not be able to handle this stress that international students are going through. You might think that you would like to give up early, but for you to know that before you come, that's why I made this video, to explain things to you really well, so that you know what is actually going on in reality over here. And there's one last thing I would like to say before this video ends, right? That if somebody had told me all these things that I explained in this video before coming to Germany, I would still choose Germany. Why? Because Germany is a country that is really inclined with my goals and my future aspirations in the field of engineering and all that, right? So I'll still choose Germany, but I would be really prepared so that I wouldn't be really shocked by a lot of stuff that I've been watching online when I come here. So this is actually the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, share to anybody who is planning or in the process of coming to study here in Germany. And I hope to see you guys once again. Ciao, ciao.